just started streaming, so you guys should pick it up here in a sec. And the ladybug is just the same as the other stream, so you should be good there. Okay. So you should see my hand on the YouTube stream, and then I'm just going to walk you guys through how this should be done, okay? If you don't want to watch the stream, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to post it later. You can just look up here. But I want you to know how to do this and how to draw these things. So the first one, I'm going to take a ruler, and I'm literally going to draw one giant line across the top of this thing. So this is going to be my what line? Horizon. Horizon, good. And the science behind this, if you guys can't see it yet, let me know, but the horizon line is basically just going to be that top line. You literally pick a random point on here, anywhere you want. I'm going to pick it right here because I like that point. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you basically draw, and I'm going to draw just for the sake of sanity here. I'm going to draw the box that they give you. Okay, just that thing that they give you. So it looks in the front face. So this is a 1 point, right? This is for the 1 point. So I'm going to start drawing, and they told you the first rule was that they only have one vanishing point, right? The other rule behind that shouldn't be on fusion, guys. You should be paying attention to this, because then you're going to be lost on the test, and you're going to be like, why did I lose that point? You draw the front face of the object itself. So in this case, I'm going to draw two. I'm just going to do it really quick. I'm not going to go crazy here. 2 by 2 by 2 is the front face. And it shows you guys that in your PowerPoint. All you got to do is take each one of these points, and you can even take the back point, and you draw a construction line, basically just back to that point really lightly. Each one of these points go straight back. And again, you can do the other point. I don't think you need to, but if you want to, let's just make it a rule of doing them all, just so that you have it. Basically from there, there's no rocket science here. The farther it goes back, I like to think of it as like half size. So like if this was 2 wide, this should be about 1 back. Now again, there's no rule there, but it's kind of eyeballing it, which is why, again, I don't make you do this. So then I draw a line, and then from there I know it needs to go about 4 over-ish. I'm going to say ish. So I'm going to go 1, 2, that's 1 cube, 3, 4, that's 2 cubes. With that being said, though, that also creates four new points on my perspective. So then I got to take each one of those points and then bring them back. The only thing on the test, and I'm just showing you this, the only thing on the test you're going to need to know is basically what type of perspective is this. They're going to draw a picture of it, and then they're going to say what point perspective, 1 point, 2 point, what's the difference between the two. They're not going to make you draw them, so don't freak out. That's why I'm not making this a big deal. So we go back, then we kind of just like color in, and as you can see, it's starting to angle back to that perspective. I try to try to sketch it over, and I know that that line goes to about there. Again, sketch. Again, sketch. And then go up about another 1, 2. 1, 2. Somewhere around there. Again, though, that makes 2 more points. And now I can use those. As you can kind of see it already, now I'm going to start bringing this back a little bit. Let's say about a half. About a half. Drop down. These just go straight back. You could even use a ruler if you needed to. And you kind of use the construction lines, and they kind of block it for you. Here. straight up, straight over, and straight back. Does everyone see how that looks? It's I mean, I freehanded a lot of it, but I mean, in a nutshell, that's all you really need to know. And then you shade it, top, top, top. And again, this is really fast, so don't judge me. Lighter on the side, lighter on this side, lighter on the side. And leave it light. That's pretty much it for 1 point. Okay? Simple enough? Any questions on that? Okay, for the sake of time, I'm literally just going to keep going and draw you guys the 2-point perspective. So the 2-point perspective basically does the exact same thing. I'm going to draw the line right underneath it, the horizon line right underneath it. You pick 2 random points. Again, now it's 2. This is the difference between the 2-point perspective. Okay, same exact thing, except now we're not picking a front face. We are picking a front edge. And all I mean by that is the fact that instead of picking this whole entire front face, we're just going to pick this front edge. And on the drawing, if you look at it, it's a different cue, but it's just showing that front edge. So I'm going to start drawing just that front edge. And again, that's like 1 cube high. So then I take that point and I start going back with that point to not only the first point, but also the second point. And you do that, you keep on going until you have all of them. Take these construction lines and that'll create basically the next image. So if this is too high, I'm going to say it's about 1 high. Again, this is just eyeballed. There is no idea of how to do that. These go back about, let's say 1, 2-ish. That kind of looks right. I know it sounds really made up.
Teachers and staff, pardon the interruption. At this time, teachers, please release the National Merit semi-finalists to attend a breakfast in the Media Center. Thank you very much.
That also creates, though, new points. So as you kind of make these things, you keep going back. That one's already back. We're good. That one's back there, but it's not over here. So each of these new points that you're creating, you're basically just drawing new construction lines for each one of those. And as you can see, I kind of just made my surface on accident. Surface, surface. There's nothing here. This one's kind of tricky. It kind of skips a spot. So I'm going to skip a spot, and it's going to go up. And then I'm going to take that point, and again, this point should be going back to that point, and that point it already is. That point goes there, goes here, and then again, over about 1. I'm starting to see it. I go about 1 back, go straight up, about 1 over, and then it takes that edge to go back. I made a new point, I gotta go back. Made a new point, I gotta go back. I'm drawing my construction lines pretty dark just because I want you to be able to see them on the video. Now I have that new point, but I needed to go 2 back here, so I'm going to continue that back. Continue that back. Continue this over. I'm not going to go and connect that yet. From this point here, it goes up 1. We made it about 1 here, so I'm going to make it about 1 here. Ish. Made a new point, so I need to go back. Made a new point, I gotta go back. Point's good. Now you kind of see where that new piece is coming in. And you're gonna see the box. It's kind of tricky. I should have made that up. This face actually goes down. Goes all the way down to here. There we go. So then dark, just so that I can get rid of those constructions so you can really see it. Dark, dark, light, light, light. And I screwed this corner up, you can totally see that, but you get the concept of just making the 1 point, 2 points. Any questions on that? All you gotta know, again, use the edge on the 2 point, you use the face on the 1 point, you only have 1 point, you have 2 points. Never gonna make you draw it. They want you to take like 2 days to do this in monthly. Make sense? Good? Happy? Let's do multi-view.